Hey, have you ever wanted to change your life, upgrade your career, or bring your business to the next level, but you didn't know how? Well, this is the time when I'm going to share with you some of the strategies that the most successful people and highest performers in the world implement to get to where they want to be. My name is Andrew Lawless. I'm a certified high performance coach and founder of the 5-Day Side Hustle Challenge. And every time anybody comes to me and says, Andrew, I would like to change my life, no matter what it is, lose weight, become fitter, be a better parent, be a better partner, improve finances, increase income, the number one piece of advice that I give them is to change their peer group. Because your peer group has such a great impact on you that anything else that you can do will not do anything for you, serve you in any way, if you don't change your peers. Let me explain to you the power of the peer group with smoking. I don't know if you smoke, but if you did, then you can reflect. If you don't, ask somebody who still smokes or has smoked in their past and ask them, how was your experience the first time you smoked? Was it like, wow, this is good. This is the stuff that makes me feel so wonderful. No, most likely you will hear, oh, and that was horrible. I was sick. I had to almost throw up. I was dizzy. So then I asked them, why then did you condition yourself to like it to a point that you actually crave it? And the answer that you will get is like, everybody smoked. I wanted to be seen as an adult by everybody else, by my parents or whatever. It's the peer group that made you crave something that kills you. How crazy is that? But that is the power of the peer group. And if you want to change your life, if you have expectations and you want to have higher expectations than the people around you, then it's time to change your peer group. Because wherever you are in life right now, your quality of life is a direct reflection of the expectations from your peer group. If you have higher expectations, if you want to reach higher levels, build a better peer group, because they will lift you up. They will pull you up rather, because they expect certain behaviors from you and other things that expect you to not do. Hope that makes sense. In order to live up to those expectations, you also need to consistently condition yourself to get to that level. It's not easy. It's not going to happen just because you're surrounded by good people, because they will ignore you if you don't live up to their expectations over time. So part of your job every day is to figure out what you need to do to acquire new skills, learn new strategies, behave in a different way. How do you need to push yourself to the next level? What's the big favor that you need to ask for? What's the bold move that you need to make today to move your agenda forward? Right? So what is the one thing that pushes you out of your comfort zone that you know you need to do, but you haven't done it yet because it feels uncomfortable? But if you don't condition yourself to do it on a regular basis, it's never going to happen. The third one is your why, your necessity. Why are you showing up every morning? Get out of bed, even when it gets hard. Because most businesses don't grow like that. They grow like this. And most careers don't go like that. They go like this. And you're on your way up, there will always be valleys. And when you hit that valley, if you don't have a strong enough why, you're not going to follow through. And your why can be your kids. I have one client, her why is that she wants to give her parents a nice retirement for the remaining 5 or 10 years of their lives. She owes that to them. Maybe it's just because you want to live somewhere else and have more vibrancy and adventure in life. Or maybe you've experienced some trauma or some hardship in your life and you don't want anyone that you can reach to go through the same ordeal or get out of there faster. and easier than you've done. So whatever your why is, it has to be strong enough that you wake up in the morning, no matter how bad you feel. But none of this does anything for you unless you take action. There's a saying that words without action are wasted, and that's definitely true for this context. Yeah? So if I look at your calendar and I cannot extract what your peer groups are, how you condition yourself, what you're doing to achieve your dream, how you condition yourself, how you're pushing yourself forward, and how that is related to a higher purpose, then it's not going to happen. Words without action are wasted in this context. So put it in your calendar, make it a habit to schedule your, what we call your identity, because this here defines you as a person. When you think about it, wherever you are in life right now is also a summary of the actions that you've taken. If you had taken different actions in your life, you'd be in a different place. Have you ever made a big decision and made a big step, and your life would look totally different today, for better or worse? That's the power of action. And once you take action, now this becomes your life, yes? And this action, every action creates an event. And some events are great, some events are not so great. But what makes them great events or bad events is also a matter of the meaning that you give that event. So let me give an example. I used to train special forces and hostage rescue teams and agents at the FBI Academy in Quantico, Virginia. And I'm somebody who works on the desk. Yes, and I work with people that operate at the highest level, physically and mentally, that a human being can operate on. And they introduced me to some other group, special forces, and so I worked with them. And these guys eventually called me names. It starts with M, mother, and then you know the rest. Yeah. But I wasn't upset. I was proud. I felt like accomplished. Why is that? Because they called each other that name all the time, and the fact that they did so with me meant that I was one of them. They accepted and respected me as a peer and even a trainer. How cool is that? But if another person on the street, and I don't know, would call me that name and show me fingers or whatever, I would probably be upset or feel sad or whatever. I would give it a different meaning, and that different meaning will give it a different response. Again, in the context of the special forces that I mentioned, it was like, yeah, come on, fist bump, right? Hugs. That was before COVID-19. And but if somebody on the street randomly calls me names and shows me the finger, I may get be upset or sad or confused. But what causes my response is the meaning that I give the event. It's never ever what anybody does and says that causes you to give a response. It's the story in your head that you built about that person or about yourself or about the situation that causes you to give a response. And that meaning is shaped by your identity that consists of the peers that you're surrounded by how you condition and train yourself, the meaning that you have for your life and work, and the actions that you consistently take. And that response then leads to an action. Whenever you feel that this action is not constructive or it doesn't give you the results that you want, the answer is here. How do you change your identity? So if you have action that doesn't give you the result, look at your peers, look at how you condition yourself and train yourself, and look at your why. And maybe your why is not extended far enough. It's not always important what your why is, but how is that why meaningful to others? So how can you extend the benefits of your why to other people? What are the things that you haven't done yet? In my coaching, I would give one question, which is, what are you willing to not do to form your identity? And the answer to that problem is always in the response to that question. So you don't get the results that you want, look at your identity. And that's why I have developed the 5-day side hustle challenge. This is not a program like an multilingual multi-level marketing program. It's a 5-day program that gets this kick-started, because you will begin from the very beginning on working on your why and defining it with an exercise called 7 Whys Deep. And everybody who went through this exercise, when they are done with it, they are surprised by the outcome. It's almost always never what they expected. I will give you tools and training and knowledge and the motivation to condition yourself to do things differently. And for the first 2 weeks, you have free access to my life coaching, a mastermind group with peers that may have, some of them they already have exceeded where you are, right? Or may have exceeded where you are. I don't know where you are right now, so I'm not making assumptions. But people that give you feedback, people that push you up, that lift you up, cheer you on, right? For 2 weeks, you can sign up here right now. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free for 2 weeks. And after 2 weeks, if you like it and you want to stay with us, you're so welcome. It will make me so happy. You just stay and things go their way. If you, after 2 weeks, say, you know what, this was so awesome, I have everything I need right now, I can do this on my own, by all means do it. As long as you make a life change now. And that change can begin with that one click on the button. Just imagine yourself being surrounded by a strong group of people who want to live up to higher expectations, who are going to cheer you up, who are going to give you feedback and advice, who want you to be successful. Think about all the knowledge, the behavior, the conditioning that you get in order to achieve that. And then you define your why, and you will have an action plan. And at the end of the 5 days, you will have an entire spreadsheet, if you want to, with action items that potentially get you the results if you implement it correctly. So don't wait. Sign up now. It's absolutely free for the first 2 days. Then there's going to be a monthly subscription fee. You will read that when you go to the next step. If you cancel right away. If you cancel in 2 weeks because you had enough, do that. But if you see value, if you like it, if you feel this is your home, if you feel the power of a peer group, if you feel the power of constant conditioning, if you see the benefits of constantly re-evaluating your why, please stay with us and you will be very, very welcome. It all starts, your future starts now with a press of this button. And I see you in the mastermind class very soon.